Hello, everybody. I'm Seth Weissman, and welcome to another episode of Safe Real Estate. Today, I want to talk about decoupling, which is a term that so many of us have heard over this last year, and explain exactly what decoupling means. In the real estate brokerage context, decoupling is a term to describe what happens when the seller is paying the seller's broker's commission and the buyer is paying the buyer broker's commission. And the goal of the Department of Justice and the goal of some of the plaintiffs' attorneys has really been to encourage decoupling to the extent possible. The challenge with decoupling is that many buyers simply do not have enough money to pay their buyer brokers a real estate commission. So we are actually seeing a different type of decoupling, and by that I mean we are to some extent seeing an increase in sellers paying the seller's broker a commission and then sellers paying separately the buyer's broker's commission. And we are seeing some brokerage firms on the listing side simply taking the position that their primary goal is to ensure that they are paid and making it more of an option for the seller to then pay the buyer broker. And what is starting to happen is that more buyers and buyer brokers are asking for compensation as part of their offers. Now, from a liability perspective, it is probably better for the seller's broker to allow the seller to pay the buyer's broker's commission directly rather than for the seller to pay the seller's broker and for the seller's broker to then share their commission with the buyer's broker. It is probably better from a compliance perspective with the rules of the Georgia Real Estate Commission to ask the seller to pay the buyer's broker directly rather than the seller's broker. Now, just because the seller may be the one paying the buyer's broker's commission directly does not mean that the seller's broker cannot encourage the seller to make that payment and to explain to the seller all of the benefits of having the seller pay a portion or all of the buyer broker's commission, because the reality is with so many buyers not having the funds to pay the buyer broker, it's still really essential in many markets for the seller to do that. I hope this episode of Safe Real Estate has been beneficial. As always, it's great to see everybody. Please continue to tune in. Bye now.